about keeping time. So welcome JM, welcome Happiness. It's nice to have you on the call. So yes, so I hope you have your notebook and pen ready. Today we'll keep it very short and simple, very educative. I really request if you just keep your mics muted. Lilo, I think you can also help me on that. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Shiru. You all know me, but I know we have a guest on the call who just sit in and listen to what we have to say. So just for his sake, I'll just introduce myself. My name is Shiru, and I have been in this business of Forex trading for about now 16 months. But my profession is property management and marketing. Basically, that is my background, but I'm a full-time trader. And the purpose of this call is just to work on our mentorship, because at the end of the day, you'll find like 80% of trading is actually in the mind. Yeah, so 20% is now just, of course, learning the skill and whatever. And that's why, like every Thursday, my business partner and I, Miss Lilian Okado, have this mentorship call just to kind of just drop some nuggets just to work on our mindset. And today we'll be looking at, we're actually looking at the book by Napoleon Hill. I don't know my copy, I think it's somewhere in the house. But right now we are looking at chapter 4. We've looked at chapter 1, 2, and 3. So today we'll be looking at chapter 4, which actually talks about auto-suggestion. And I know Lilian actually touched on this last week, so I'll just kind of be enhancing that particular whatever, because now there's a full chapter about what we are supposed to expect when it comes to auto-suggestion. And I mean, the simple explanation of auto-suggestion is just the self-administered stimuli that you tell your mind, like what it's supposed to do. Remember, we have the conscious and subconscious mind, okay? So of course, the mind, so when you're working with the auto-suggestion, you can actually tell your mind what to do with your 5 senses, okay? So of course, remember that any thought, be it positive or negative, you're the one who actually dictates what thought is going to go to the subconscious mind. And that is what is called auto-suggestion. Is actually making a definite decision that you're going to have a positive thought in your mind. That's, I think, the simplest way that I can, of course, define it, because the dictionary actually defines this as a psychological technique related to the placebo effect. It's a form of self-induced suggestion which individuals guide their own thoughts, feelings, or behaviors. So basically, you're the one in charge. So if you decide you want to have a bad day, it starts from your mind. If you decide you want to have a good day, it starts from your mind. If you decide today you're going to make money out of course, the trades are called. So what you talk into the universe is what you're going to get. Because remember, when we are asleep, the subconscious mind is still very much awake. So of course, like I was saying, there's no negative thought, negative or positive, that can enter your subconscious without you allowing it in. So what do I, so if, for example, when I'm going to sleep and I decide I'm going to watch a horror movie, for example. So we have Lilo, who is on this call, who decides she's going to listen to Proctor before she goes to sleep. Then here there's Shiru listening to watching a horror movie. Now, when I'm going to sleep, of course, what I'm feeding my mind are those horror images. Okay, so that's what I have fed my subconscious mind. Lilo decided she's going to listen to one of the renowned educationist or motivational speaker that is known in the world. So what is Lilo doing? She's automatically feeding her subconscious mind those positive thoughts. So even when she's waking up in the morning, she's very psyched up, because remember, she slept on a very high note. Me, on the other hand, I was watching some horror movies. So what does that do? When I'm waking up, I'm sweating, or I'm even like remembering what, of course, I watched yesterday. So I'm in a cocoon of where I'm actually scared of what I watched. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So we have to be very careful what we are feeding our subconscious mind. And actually in I think, another gift that I think Chris and Isis gave us is where we have a mentorship call like every Thursday, and we're able to listen to Bob Proctor. And if I'm not wrong, that call comes at about 11 p.m. So just when we are about to sleep, for us it favors us in Kenya, just when we are about to sleep, we are of course feeding our mind with, of course, very positive thoughts, okay? So the subconscious mind is like a fertile garden, and the act of autosuggestion controls what an individual feeds his subconscious mind using the thoughts. So what do I mean? Your subconscious is where your positive or negative thoughts dominate. Yeah, because it's a garden. Okay, so forget the conscious. The subconscious is what we have to be very careful. So what we are feeding the subconscious mind has to be at a very high level, that it doesn't matter if you're having a bad day, be it a trading day or be it when the day where you're talking to your customers and they're not signing up. Don't agree to feed your mind that I never sign people up. Don't agree to feed your mind that I never close my trades in profit. You should not allow yourself to have those kind of thoughts, because they go directly to your subconscious mind, which is so important that you keep it very positive. Okay, so remember, desire, the things you need to be feeding your mind with is like, the first thing is like read aloud. And I remember a lot of this last week. You have to read aloud a written statement of what it is that you want to be. So for example, the members on this call, we keep saying we want to hit Chairman 10. Probably by this time, there's somebody on this call who wants to hit a platinum 2000. Like me, I put it on my window. Like after I brush my teeth, the first thing I see in the morning, of course. So I have a written statement, okay? So I have put my statement, and there's a money value, because if I want to hit platinum 2000, I had written by 30th of June, so it didn't happen. So I pushed it to 15th of July. So beside the platinum 2000, I have put the figure of $2,000. And because I'm better with Kenya shillings, I've put it as 200,000, as 200K. So already when I wake up in the morning and I'm going to brush my teeth, because when I wake up, I go brush my teeth. So it's the first thing I see. So I have that desire, the value of the money that I already want to get. So I'm feeling it and I can actually see it. So when I'm brushing my teeth, I'm already seeing the figure. What I want. 200. I think our chairman is on phone. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So then you have to read this like twice daily, like in the morning, in the evening. Like for me, because it's in the bathroom, when I am going to even shower, I'll see it. When I'm going to do whatever, I'm seeing it. So the more you repeat it, the more the desire, it's an obsession. It becomes an obsession. And I remember the first time I did the call, I said, also talk it out, like whisper to yourself. You can even be in the streets of Nairobi and you're saying plus 2,000, 200,000. And then again, also our trading plan. How much do you want to make? Like, what is your target, like every week or every month? So keep telling yourself, see it, feel it, and of course you visualize it. Okay. Then of course, when you do this directly, you have to, and for it to make sense, you have to tie an emotion to this desire. What's the emotion? Excitement. What will the, for example, 200,000 do for me? I have to plug in excitement. So every time I see this figure, I am so excited. Then if I have said I want to make $100 every day, when I see that figure, there's a kind of excitement that is there. So what am I doing? By default, I am feeding my subconscious mind that I am successful. I am seeing the figures, it's coming to life. So everything is in the mind, okay? And even as I'm doing this call, you can actually even visualize that. You can even close your eyes and visualize exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Then, if you repeat any kind of gesture, again, without a desire or emotion and without faith, you're doing a lot of zero work. So there has to be faith, which you also have to have desire, and the emotion, okay? The emotion has to be plugged, okay? Just for it to influence the subconscious in the right mind. And I remember, I know like BK and Uncle Maybe on this call, they keep telling us, listen to to David Imonike, and him, he's always talking about belief. He's always talking about belief. Feed your subconscious mind, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, once put this into your system, you will not flowing accounts, because you've already told your mind, today I'm making this. So of course, if you're doing the action that is supposed to, of course, enter the trade when you're properly leveraged. And of course, if you're talking to enough people to hit, of course, your next rank. So what is this doing for you? It becomes automatic that this is the feeling that is flowing through you. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are told, do not get discouraged if you cannot control your emotions, if this is the first time that you're doing it. Because remember, there's no such possibility as something for nothing. Like for me, this is something I've struggled with personally, because before I joined I had never thought about personal development. In fact, yesterday I was speaking to Uncle Megwe about another book we are doing, and I told him, Uncle Megwe, where have I been for so long? Because this is the time where, again, now I'm working on my mindset. Okay, but again, when I read this chapter and it actually talked to me and told me, Shiru, do not get discouraged if you're not getting the results that you want instantly. Because remember, feeding the subconscious mind is a process. You have to do it over and over and over and over again. You cannot talk about your rank at once in a week, and then you think, no, you're that it becomes like automatic. It has to be a way of life. Like the way, like when you wake up, you're brushing your teeth. After you brush your teeth, you make breakfast, whatever your routine you have. Of course, a routine is made over doing things over and over and over again. So basically, that is what we call about, don't get discouraged if, of course, you're not getting the results on time. And remember, the ability to reach to influence your subconscious mind, there has to be a price that we have to make. What is the price? Being consistent. Okay, and that's why I'm saying you cannot actually just do this for 1 month and say, me, I've worked on my auto-suggestion. No. And I know, like Lilo, BK, and Uncle Megwe, because I know, and also Flo, of course, Florence actually influenced because of the background of where they came from. This is something that they have practiced over time. And ladies and gentlemen, I realized when you talk to somebody who is actually doing this, it's very different from somebody who is not doing what the book suggests. Okay, like if I'm having a bad day and, for example, I call Lilo, because of the way her mindset is, I automatically switch to her wave, to her way of thinking, because she's already doing a lot of personal development. So by default, I catch on that. So again, we are also told in the session, hold on, let me turn my book. Here we go. We are actually told, and this is something you'll also you'll hear most motivational speakers saying, who are you listening to? Okay, are you listening to the Kardashians? I mean, are you listening to Joel Austin? And you can actually tell the difference of the two people, because their subconscious mind, me who is listening to the Kardashians, I'm buying their lifestyle. So by default, I'm feeding my mind with that school of thought. Somebody else who's listening probably to Joel Austin, but is already feeding their subconscious mind with that. So there's, of course, a difference when you find that you're speaking or actually listening to the right people, because once you become a way of life, and actually we are told when you do something for 30 days, it becomes a habit. So if you listen to these people day in, day out for a month, my goodness, personally, I am experiencing it. Before, I used to be a very angry person. Any small thing would tick me off. But you see, now I'm getting to a zone where I can see the roll. I'm getting to a zone where, like, wait, I take a chill bill. I'm thinking, okay, is this really worth it? Is feeding the negative thing in my mind worth it? Okay. So remember, hold whatever you desire and completely concentrate with your eyes closed until you can actually see the exact amount of money that you want to get every day. As in, ladies and gentlemen, I actually want us to do this. Just close your eyes and visualize. Okay, I know your cameras are off, but I know you're honest people. So we are actually going to close our eyes and imagine you already know the rank you want to hit. You already know the kind of money you want to make. In fact, let's say on a monthly basis. Concentrate on that figure and actually see it. Are you seeing it? You can actually unmute. Below BK, please unmute your mics and let's see if we're actually doing this together. Uncle Megwe, you can unmute your mic. Have you closed your eyes? Have you visualized that amount of money in your system? Can you see it? Can you visualize it?
Yes, I can see it.
You can see it? Your eyes are shut, right? You are seeing the exact figure of Chairman 10, because I think I'm talking to BK. I think that is $2,000. Are you seeing that figure in front of you? Okay, exactly. Fidis, I see you have joined us. Okay, so me, I have to open my eyes because I'm going to do the presentation. So again, let's also go to the trading. Are you visualizing yourself that I want to make $1,000 each month? Are you seeing your screen there up there reading $1,000? Or when you're looking at your statement, because I know your statement can come from your broker, are you seeing that figure of $1,000 from your trading account? ladies and gentlemen? Can we see, are we concentrating on that figure? Okay. So basically, what concentrate, and we are actually told to do this on a daily basis. So the now you can open your eyes. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So the subconscious mind takes an order given in the spirit of absolute faith. Remember, we are the ones who are ordering the subconscious. So I'm sorry, guys, if you have a bad day, it is your fault. You have woken up, you have, of course, read the news, and you're seeing guys, of course, are dying in drones because of corona. Why are you doing that to yourself? Why are you watching news? Why can't you pick up a book and actually read? Why don't you listen to an educator who is putting life into your trading? Okay, so if you're having a day, ladies and gentlemen, that is your choice. Okay, and for me, when I read this chapter, I said, honestly, going forward, I will not be having a bad day. Okay, why am I not trading? Because I'm telling myself that trading is hard. Like, I remember the first time I traded US30. I told Lilo, I don't trade US30. And the question asked, why aren't you trading US30? Remember, that's what I told my mind, that I cannot hack US30. Once I got to see how much US30 pay me, now I am trading US30, and thank you very much for that. Okay, so I want you to follow the next steps as of course, as we close this call. Going forward, every time you get to a quiet place where you cannot be disturbed, as in the mothers on this call, go to a quiet place where, of course, you're not being disturbed by your kids, or maybe the house help doing her things. Get that particular spot and say, this is where I'll be talking aloud my written statement, okay, of the amount of money you need to accumulate, and what action you need to take to actually make that limit. I mean, that particular amount of money. And again, I keep referring to Uncle Meg because he's very visual. Any of his calls, he's showing us like the houses we need to be thinking about. He'll actually tell you, let's drive into DT Dobby. See yourself in that Mercedes Benz. So enter, sit. So when you get home, go to your corner, see that image in your head, repeat it over and over and over again. Okay, for me to get this Mercedes Benz, I don't know how much they cost, but let me just say, out of just, I don't know, let's assume it's 25 million shillings. Are you seeing, are you talking aloud that 25 million shillings is coming to you? So it can be through trading, it can be through business, you see? So that would be like your own safe haven corner that you are talking into the universe. I don't know if I'm making sense. Number 2, repeat this in the morning and every evening until you see this in your imagination. Okay, so what are we doing? Remember, auto-suggestion is in the mind. So you have to see the car, you have to see the amount of money, you have to see the house. So but you're not just seeing a house, you have to get the actual value, just that I don't have these actual values in my head. So you've already identified the house in Karen or in Runda. If that house is going for 150 million shillings, ladies and gentlemen, to see that figure every day, even though if you finished a Zoom presentation, take your mind there to the 150 million shillings. On it, concentrate on that figure, concentrate on that vehicle, concentrate on retiring parents, I mean the kids on this call, concentrate on, of course, ensuring that your kids are no longer not going to. So of course you already know that I need to make this amount of money to make sure that my kids never have to think about employment. So it has to be tied to a figure. So the imagination, auto-suggestion has to have a figure. And remember, introduce emotions. Emotions again will be brought by your why. Why are you in this business? Okay, like Lillian, I know she's in this business because of her daughter. She has to introduce that emotion or that factor of emotion, because if she just enters and sings, there is no emotion, like, oh my goodness, if I don't get this, what happens to Zolan? If no emotion, you're doing a lot of nothing. So introduce an emotion. That's why I remember also Lilo talked about having a why in this business. Why, and most of our whys are very emotional. So if you don't have a why, the homework, of course, you need to do is write down a why. It can be 2, 3, or 4 whys. Really, it doesn't matter. Number 3, place the written copy of the statement where you can see it every day, every night, every day you can see. You're seeing Chairman 100. We need, if you came to my house, you need to see anyway. Shiru wants to hit Chairman 100, and yeah, Shiru wants to drive a G-Wagon. Like Lilo here, I know her G-Wagon is red because she's always sharing pictures. And the same thing, I think for me, and Komigwe is, in fact, I think the person who should have done this mentorship call, because oh my goodness, the vision that man has. When, by the way, I don't know if any of you have been on his calls. Of course, Floncy and Flo, and you can attest to this. When he's doing for us leadership calls, there's a house, there's a car, he's already visualized. In fact, he's already seen himself in Kitusuru. What makes you think Uncle Mego will not live in Kitusuru another few years from? You understand? Because he already visualized it. He's seeing it every day when he wakes up. I mean, those of us who've been to his, seen the books that he reads. Okay, you've entered his cave. BK, the same thing. Anyone who's had the pleasure of reading with Uncle Mego and BK, those people, I don't even think they know the radio stations that are operational in Kenya. It's personal development. Who are you listening to? What are you reading? What are you feeding your mind with? So you realize what this, and when you hear these two leaders speak, oh my goodness, powerful. Okay, I'm yet to find a day where actually, for me, I like to give an example of BK and Akomegwe that day. Even though these guys are unranked, do not even think they are unranked, because for them, they are going. It doesn't matter, I'm unranked, I need to get back. I'm not trading, this is what I need to do. They put action. There's no person at Uko, you're introducing a negative thought at it. By the way, should I be in this business or I can try something else? Apana? No. Basically, let us learn. Who are you listening to? Who again are you surrounding yourself? If I realize that Lilo is brand energy, I will avoid her. Tell her, mad love Lilo, but I don't think I need you in my space. You understand? Because again, you have to control what's going into your mind. As in, for me, once I read this chapter, and ladies and gentlemen, get this book and read chapter 4. It's about the mind. And I know we keep being told Forex trading is about the mind. If your mind is not right, you cannot trade. And I'm sure our master trader can actually attest to that. Okay? So, just to leave you with this one, the subconscious mind will only act upon your instructions, okay, which are full of emotions and handed over to it with a feeling. And that is why I'm saying, going forward, if today I call you and tell me, Shiru, I'm having a bad day, you are to blame. Nobody else, because you're the one who's telling you're telling your mind it's going to be a bad day. Do not even realize the more I'm telling myself that I'm feeling cold, I'm actually feeling cold. And it's not cold, but I've been telling my mind, I live in Mountain View, it is cold. Who says it's cold? I'm feeding my mind that it is cold. Okay, when I enter a trade, I say, no, US 30 moves very fast. If I'm not careful, I'm going to blow my account. Already I've told my subconscious mind, blow my account. So why are you blowing your account? Why are you telling? Why can't you tell yourself, US 30 moves very fast, I'm going to make $100 out of it? Do you know the way God works in miracles? He may just stand that trade because you're feeding your subconscious mind the right way. Attach a feeling, guys. Attach a feeling that, why am I doing this? Bring in your why, and I'll keep repeating this. Sometimes I tend to repeat myself quite a bit. Remember, faith is the strongest and most productive principle of emotions. You must have faith, ladies and gentlemen. You must have faith. And again, I keep saying, get an accountability partner. If you're having a bad day, please call that person who is going to lift you up. I'm actually going to send a video onto the call about auto-suggestion. It actually tells you when you're going to sleep, what you should listen to. Actually, today I learned, when I'm going to sleep, I look at my to-do list of the next day, so that when I'm waking up in the morning, remember I had told I'm going to call 30 people. I'd already made my list before I'm going to bed. I could be tired, I'm not able to, of course, call late night calls. So when I'm going to bed, I look at that list. I'm going to call 30 people, okay? And these are the names, these are their phone numbers, okay? Then tomorrow, I'm also going to talk to a few of my members and find out how the trading journey is. Do you realize when you wake up in the morning, that is the first thing you're going to do, because that is what you fed your mind before you left. Before you slept. So basically, I've also learned, before you go to sleep, look at your to-do list. It wakes you up on another high. And I've also learned from BK, whenever BK comes from a mentorship call, like today, after the 5 a.m., he was fired up and said, Shiru, we must do a launch. Why? Already that call fed into his subconscious mind and just automatically fired him up. Automatically. Okay. So you have to have the power to influence your own subconscious and forget about everything else. You're the master of your own universe. Okay. So positive thoughts, Listen to positive videos. Stop watching the news if it is bringing you down. Even when you're hearing somebody, even though you're in a matatu and somebody is talking negative, put your earphones. Again, that is also something else I've learned from Uncle Megu. Uncle Megu, you think he's listening to you. The guy he has zoned you off, kabisa. He's doing this, but believe you me, it is going like this. Okay, because he has learned, and this is also something I learned from him from Swechimau. When somebody is talking negative, he's nodding, but believe you me, he cannot hear what you're saying. So what is he doing? Blocking those negative energies. So ladies and gentlemen, that actually brings me to the end of the mentorship call. Smack 30 minutes, I am done. And thank you so much for being on this call. It's always a pleasure. So let's be feeling good. So I see Raquel has actually dropped in something. She has said, let us see. Raquel, thank you very much for your input. Emotion feeling is a language that the subconscious understands. Exactly. Emotion and feeling. And remember, ladies, and I think that should be our take home. Let us introduce emotions into our subconscious mind. And I think going forward, we will be better traders, better builders. You know, we'll just be even better to our own, the people who are around us. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for plugging onto this call. I'm sure Lilo has actually recorded this call, so we'll be sharing it. And you know what, guys, if you have the Think and Grow Rich, read even ahead of us, because I know now Lilo will be looking at the next chapter. So of course, you'll be able to again be also on the same zone that she is on. So thank you very much for the support. I see our numbers. Wow, 22 guys. Let's throw in some fire emojis as we exit. See you at 7 p.m. for another very powerful call by Lilian Okado and myself. So thank you for the support, and it's always a pleasure being in this place with all of you. Asanteni sana. Have a lovely, lovely evening, and see you at exactly 7 p.m. The same link. Hop on. You guys.